Pay heed and observe. Today, the Hire brothers continue to attend to this carriage. The 2023 Rolls-Royce model. Though the outer appearance bears some damage, the true affliction lies within. Before ordering parts, the most pressing matter is how to open the trunk of this noble chariot. For the battery, crucial to its life, is concealed within. Without power, the carriage cannot be awakened, let alone rouse its twin-turbo engine, a task that has endured for 2 cycles of time. The Hire brothers' plan is to first ascertain if the engine may still stir. If it fails, then it shall not be a repair, but rather a wrecking of hopes. Yet the issue lies. Even after delving into many records, no one can speak as clearly as the blueprint guiding them on how the trunk should be unsealed. One suggestion is to cut open the trunk's cover. But as all are aware, the slightest alteration to the Rolls-Royce's trunk could lead to ruin. Thus, without harming the chariot, they began to experiment with various methods. After calling the dealers, the Hire brothers sought counsel. The official technician's suggestion was to inspect the rear for a manual emergency switch or a hidden pull cord. But they had already searched, finding not only an electric button, which yielded no response. The technician offered another thought. Some models allow the rear seats to be removed, granting entry to the trunk from within. But alas, this Rolls-Royce lacked such a feature. The final piece of advice was, if all else fails, to bypass the trunk from under the hood. But should the voltage be insufficient, it shall be of no use. With methods exhausted, the Hire brothers were left with the most undesirable option: to employ an angle grinder upon the trunk. They did not wish for this, but if all else fails, they must face it head-on. This is the first threshold in repairing a Rolls-Royce. It is not the engine nor the cylinder head, but rather, one must first open the trunk. The Hire brothers have devised many methods, yet the trunk remains resolutely shut. 6 hours passed in vain, all to open the trunk of a Rolls-Royce. They called, searched the records, and consulted with the seats. In the end, by sheer force and tools, they succeeded. Now, the moment of revelation arrives. What treasures lie hidden in the Rolls-Royce trunk? First, a bundle of wool dusters, baseball bats, window decals, and a random pillow. Uncertain whether these are original parts, yet they feel remarkably soft to the touch. Next, a set of thick sunshades and a suction cup sunshield. The key moment approaches. Inside the box, laser-etched glass cups, clearly worth an exorbitant price. Additionally, to custom Rolls-Royce cup holders, even the bottles are provided. These items may never see use, but as part of the vehicle, they are a sign of opulence. Finally, they behold the precious bamboo battery module, concealed beneath the carpet of the trunk. To connect the power, they lifted the carpet, installed a small probe. Using hooks and fishing line, they sent the camera inside to align with the battery socket. This task requires not only patience, but also ingenuity. For the dealer's assistance was of no use. It all relied on the Hire brothers' ingenuity. Now, the power cable is at last connected. They prepare to power the main battery. The Rolls-Royce is about to be revived. This Rolls-Royce's rear seat, in its immersive configuration, cost £20,000 for selection, including the central dual-screen display and independent cooling with a starry ceiling light effect. The entire rear seat area is like first-class accommodations. But as they inspected, the Hire brothers discovered an unexpected truth. And what they found was beyond their expectation, a sight that would forever alter their view of this majestic chariot. A final twist in the journey. Upon the central control panel, there was a piece resembling crystal. There was also a lighting system that illuminated instantly upon activation. What was most astonishing was that this carriage had only run 3,000 miles. At the time of purchase, no one knew the actual mileage. So this was truly a stroke of luck. Looking further, the screen was supposed to rise, but due to the battery module being disconnected, it was temporarily unavailable. This system operates independently. It requires an additional power source from the rear compartment. Altogether, the vehicle might have 4 batteries in operation. On the other side, hidden beneath a cover, a carbon fiber control panel appeared. Just from the craftsmanship, one could tell this was not cheap. This single screen system is worth $2,000. The rear seats can also independently control sunshades and seat lighting. It may even include massage, heating, and ventilation. He then attempted to ignite the engine. The twin-turbo V12 engine started at the press of a button. Without hesitation, the small ignition roar was followed by a remarkably smooth running sound. The engine vibration was so slight. Theoretically, one could place another coin on the hood, and it would not fall. This is the mechanical craftsmanship of Rolls-Royce. The engine is flawless. The electrical systems are restored. The next step, the Hire brothers prepare for deep maintenance of the vehicle. Cleaning the wheels, rebuilding the suspension, checking the electrical control. Every area requiring professional tools shall not be neglected. This carriage is slowly returning to its noble state. The front structure of the Rolls-Royce had already torn and deformed. But upon disassembly, the Hire brothers discovered the actual condition was much more optimistic than expected. The front bumper was removed. The inner fender area was thoroughly inspected. The suspension system was flawless. Even the oil cooler was undamaged. But on one side, the internal cooler was severely damaged. Most likely, it was the system responsible for cooling the turbocharger. It needs replacement. As for the main radiator, the condenser is currently only slightly deformed. There is no damage. The transmission cooler is also somewhat bent, but it has not leaked. Its function remains. The most noticeable damage is a collection of plastic parts, air deflectors, intake ducting, and some cooling pipes. Though these parts are not expensive, they must be replaced one by one. Next is the critical frame track section. The overall structure is fine. There is only slight deformation at the front corner area. No structural bending. This means the chassis is still within safe limits. But what truly troubles the Hire brothers is the impact tower structure. This is one of the most heavily stressed parts during the accident. If damaged, the repair difficulty is extremely high because it is mortised onto the body. The disassembly and replacement process is extremely complex, and the craftsmanship must be precise. During inspection, they also found that a crash beam had already broken. During disassembly, they noticed the manufacturing method of Rolls-Royce is very special. It is unclear whether it is laser welding or a combined riveting technique. In any case, the entire structure has no traditional welds or rivets. It appears to be one piece. This process almost leaves no traces of repair, which also means the tolerance for error is extremely low. Nevertheless, the Hire brothers are prepared to disassemble bit by bit, restoring each part. The next step will be to continue disassembling the damaged fender, inspecting the suspension connections, and checking if the front door foot chain area is deformed. Ensuring structural integrity. The entire repair process has only just begun. Soon, the box of parts acquired by the Hire brothers officially arrived. It is time to get to the heart of the matter. The Hire brothers had just removed the front doors and the front fenders. The structure behind the doors looked in good condition. The panels were smooth and the bolts were intact. Only a few rivets were torn. It is considered minor, repairable damage. But the problem lies in the lower frame of the apron structure. Near the subframe position, a main support rod is severely bent and deformed. A hole has also appeared nearby. A small section of plate rib beneath has also deformed. This damage cannot be repaired by correction. It must be replaced entirely. He plans to replace this section along with the connecting edge part. These parts appear to be designed as a set, most likely belonging to a complete frame subassembly. It can be removed and replaced entirely with a new one. During disassembly, the Hire brothers also discovered a detail. The fasteners between these frames are a set of familiar irregular hexagon Torx screws. This design is very similar to Lamborghini and Ferrari, except here it is covered by seam sealant. Next is the inner area of the front wheel arch. The suspension has been completely removed, but the damaged parts are mostly replaceable. It does not affect the structure. Currently, it has not been fully confirmed if the impact mat is deformed, because some suspension parts are still obstructing the view. Once disassembly is complete, further confirmation will be possible. Meanwhile, the ABS system module is severely damaged, and its mounting bracket is also bent. The control unit's latch is broken. The entire module and bracket must be replaced. The subradiator on the other side and its mounting bracket are also damaged. A whole section of the subframe guide rail has been simplified, but the good news is this section can be detached. It can be replaced directly without affecting the main structure. At present, the front structure repair route has been clarified. Remove the old parts, weld the new components, rearrange the cooling system and brackets. At the same time, the wiring harness also shows scratches and deformation marks. But the Hire brothers determined this group of seat belts will not be replaced entirely. The displacement is just a slight surface welding damage. It can be simply handled. It does not affect functionality. There are not many truly complicated areas in the whole vehicle, though many parts are damaged. Each has a clear replacement path. But before proceeding further, the most exciting moment has arrived. Prepare to open that box filled with original Rolls-Royce parts. The Hire brothers have already placed an order for all the confirmed parts. The front bumper, the engine cover insulation, fenders, light units, panels, all critical components have been ordered. The bumper, being an original part, is in excellent condition, although the edges of the engine cover show slight signs of repair. The overall paint finish is still astonishing. 7 layers of paint plus 2 layers of clear coat. The thickness of the finish far exceeds that of typical models. The reason for this is likely to extend the lifespan of the paint's polish, so that as the vehicle ages, it can still be polished and restored to its original texture. This is also the extreme pursuit of Rolls-Royce's attention to detail. Next, this black grille. Not all Rolls-Royces have this. It is a rare addition. Original factory configuration, not spray-painted black, but true black electroplating. With a solid texture and a substantial weight, it is nothing like the plastic grills of other models that can compare. Next, the collision energy absorption structure of the lower beam. The fenders are all in excellent condition. The door panels were also ordered directly from the factory. They are not inexpensive, but they fit perfectly, with perfect craftsmanship. With it installed, the car is halfway done. The headlights were bought as used parts. Though they are second-hand, they are in good condition and intact. The wheels were also re-equipped, thanks to Hybrid Performance, who provided the stock. The custom wheels would have normally taken a few weeks, but now they can be installed immediately. If all goes well, they may later replace them with a set of entirely new custom wheels. Additionally, the Hire brothers also found the mechanism for the Goddess of Celebration's lift. Although the little goddess herself has not arrived, he joked, perhaps they could customize a version that shakes its head as soon as the hood opens. It would nod to welcome. That image would be quite amusing. The airbags are also fully prepared. Side airbags. Both roof airbags are in place. Overall, the parts library is almost complete. But the Hire brothers know this is not enough. They will definitely need more work ahead to rebuild the Rolls-Royce. Precision and matching. Patience are indispensable. Before continuing to repair the Rolls-Royce, the Hire brothers had one important task: to hand over the Porsche to the lucky winner. The lucky person this time was Mike and his co-pilot Norman. They personally arrived to receive the customized Porsche. Mike's first words were, "This is the best day ever. This car is his dream." And today it has officially become a reality. At first, his wife kept laughing at him for buying a lonely car. He always said it was for faith, but this time, he really won it. The Hire brothers delivered the car on site. Even the unveiling film was torn off by Mike's own hands. When the national-style car paint shined in the sunlight, the whole venue went silent, because it truly was a moving work of art. Besides the car, Mike also received an additional $50,000 in cash rewards. The entire delivery process was not just a gift, but a heartfelt thanks to the supporters. The best thing he said was that it wasn't just about repairing the car, but about making dreams come true. "This is the car I've always wanted to own." The delivery was completed. Mike drove his dream Porsche home, and the Hire brothers should continue their work in the garage, rebuilding the Rolls-Royce that belongs to them. This video ends here. Regarding the content of the video, you can discuss it in the comments section. Thank you all for watching. See you next time.